Halifax's idyllic northwest arm. It boasts some of the most sought-after properties in Nova Scotia. Architects Christine and Sarah custom designed their home with chic personal touches and windows that frame priceless views.
Just a drop in the ocean.
But first we'll visit the LaHave River. Its waters are deeply sacred to the Mi'kmaq people. Ryan wasn't seeking spirituality when he found this 200-year-old former church, but its eclectic allure spoke to an inner voice that has sparked his creativity. Water, deep, flowing, mysterious. Ever-changing, yet constant. The inspiration of artists and adventurers. It's the foundation of life. We are drawn to it, to watch it, listen to it, immerse ourselves, and for the fortunate few, to live beside it.
I wasn't really looking for a place. I've always wanted some sort of cottage, an escape from the city. One of my friends, he just messaged me. He's like, "Oh my God, Ryan, you have to check out this listing." It just looked very eclectic, very weird, and very much up my alley as an artistic person. So as a joke, I was like, all right, let's go look at it. At the time, I had no intention of acquiring a spot like this. A 200-year-old converted Baptist church with a Moroccan vibe. It just spoke to me on so many levels. And as soon as I walked through the front door, I was like, okay, this is not a joke anymore. I think I'm gonna be very serious about putting an offer in on this place. Never look back. I currently live in Halifax, but I grew up in a small town in Newfoundland. Living in Dayspring, it sort of reminds me of being back home. There are actually Newfoundlanders all around me. You know, that was a joy, knowing that when I moved in, so it made it feel like it was the right move. It's a piece of art, and coming from an artistic background, design, I was just blown away by what the previous owners, their vision, and from there I haven't changed much. So I can't take credit for a lot of the art here. I take credit for living here and loving it. It was a fresh start. I just needed something in my life. I wasn't sure what I needed, but walking into this church, it was it. I found a part of myself that I didn't know existed. This wild, eclectic, artsy guy has always been there, but this sort of brought it out of me. The first thing I notice is just the art on the wall, and when you walk in through the front entrance, there's a big sun painted on the floor. So I'm like, okay, this is cool, this is a very artsy spot. And then I walk around the first post into this living room area, and I was just blown away. If you stand on the second floor and overlook the area, it's just a beautiful view of the whole living area. And seeing that up there on the second floor really, really struck a chord with me. These are original light fixtures that would have hung above the congregation so many years ago. I thought it was cool that they left character like this in the renovation, especially the stained glass windows as well. The light was shining through. On that day, the sunny day, I came to look at the church, and it just struck like this beautiful red light on these wood planks, which have been restored, and it was just a mixture of emotions, and it's like, I don't know, it was something else. The daybed is where I go to relax for the most part. Good for napping, good for snacking, good for reading, good for everything really. That's my favorite little corner of this property. Throughout the church, you will find little mysterious paintings and bird cages. There are some hanging birds from the ceiling. The previous owners had a love of birds, I would assume. It's just an interesting feature. up in the third bedroom. You go all the way up in the steeple room. You open the window, which was an addition to the house, this huge octagon window, which overlooks the LaHave River. I think that's a pretty stunning view. I think the theme in the church is just a very bohemian theme, rock and vibe. I think it has touches of Buddhism in there with its colors, orange and purple. Many different themes mixed to one, so eclectic is the word I like to describe the theme. The church itself is a piece of art, and I did not want to change that at all. There's so much love and thought put into every single nook and cranny here, every bit of detail. I could not add to this, and I would definitely not want to take away. The building itself from the outside, it's an orange church, which you don't see too often. And the back wall of the church is painted purple as well, so the exterior does match the interior. It's all a wonderfully cohesive theme going on here. The privacy in back is fantastic as well. There's a steel fence blocking in all the back garden area. The garden area is just a gorgeous, beautiful space with different stations. The first station would be the wood fireplace station, where you could have dinner with friends in front of a fire, which I find very unique in itself. And then you keep on walking on the boardwalk and you come across a propane fire pit station. So also a nice little nook where you could have a nice propane fire, either hang out by yourself and read a book or with a group of friends. And then you turn the corner and there's a pool. We're walking out there for the first time and seeing a pool. I'm like, what? There's a pool here. How is that possible? So the pool is really cool. It's an old maple syrup vat, which is converted to a saltwater pool. And it does get much use in the summertime. And next to the pool, there's more of a cabana area, which makes you feel like you're down south. Sitting next to a pool in Mexico or wherever. So quite a unique feature. Originally it was shingled roof, which needed to be replaced. So I replaced it with a red steel roof that would match the steeple. Because originally there was steel roofing on the steeple parts, but then it was black for the rest of it. So I thought it would be really cool to make the rest of the roof red, like the steeple. And with that, I drive an electric car. So it was important for me to have a charging station here. So there is a electric car charging station built into the wall outside. When you're driving in here, you see the steeple. When you come around the corner, the first thing you see is the steeple, and it's the joy you get when you know you're close to this sanctuary. You feel like you're in your own little world here, which I'm really drawn to. There are no TVs, which is great. And like I said, it's pretty private outside, so I don't have to deal with the outside world very much. It's almost like you're going to a cottage in the middle of the forest, but you're right smack here on the LaHave River, which is good. Growing up on the water in Newfoundland, I've always had a strong connection to living by the water, and I get that similar feeling when I'm here at the church. The river is right across the street. If I wanted to get away, I just go for a nice 5 to 10 minute drive down along the LaHave River, maybe take the ferry over to the other side of LaHave. And it's just a joy being that close and connected to the water again. In Halifax, it's much harder to get property by the water, or in a lot of places in Nova Scotia, but I've really lucked out with this. I think my biggest hobby is disconnecting here. So whatever way I could disconnect from the outside world, I tend to thrive when I'm doing that. So that's reading a book or just listening to a record. That is one of my joys of being here, is being able to bring my record collection and enjoy the wonderful acoustics in a church. It's pretty unreal. So yeah, just sitting down in front of a fire and playing my favorite record, drinking a nice tea or a glass of wine, maybe a beer. It's It's an easy way to disconnect and a nice way to disconnect. I paint from time to time. This is a good place to paint. So just explore my creative side. This is a wonderful place to do that because it brings out creativity, because it's an art piece itself. What I think a home is, it's a place that you want to share with those you love the most. You think about any time you move into a new spot, and as soon as you want to share that feeling you get when you walk in with others, I feel like that's when you know that you're in a home. I've never really considered myself a spiritual person until I moved into this place. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh my God, there's a good energy here. Like, it's just speaking to me. And my friend was like, well, I didn't think you were a spiritual person, Ryan. I'm like, well, I guess I am to some extent. How a space can make you feel and how you can connect with that space and how it could grow you as a person, make you more creative. I think there's a spirituality to that, which I have explored and I am exploring. I would like to thank the previous family for their creative vision and the love that they put into this space. It's not unnoticed. Every time I walk in, I think about them and I think about how much work they put into this space, and I never want to change it. Their vision was so original. Everything was created with so much passion that, yeah, it's in good hands. It will stay like this, hopefully till the end of time. There's no way I'm selling this. This is something I will hold on to the rest of my life and hopefully someday share with my children.
I had practiced architecture after grad school in San Francisco and in New York. And then Sarah moved to Vancouver to start a doctorate in geography. So we figured, you know, I either move to Canada or maybe it's not going to work out. The place that hired me was out here on the other side of the country in Nova Scotia. And so I found people here really welcoming, and we both really settled down here. We've been here now almost 30 years, and it just feels like home. So we really fell in love with this place and its landscapes and the people. And now when my family says, you know, so why'd you move to Nova Scotia? I said, well, it's because of the weather. I just love the weather here so much, but the real reason is the people. So we started looking for a waterfront property, and the day we saw this property, it had been on the market 6 months. We looked at it and we realized the view out the window here, you can't see any of the industrial harbor. It looks like you're in the South Shore, like in the middle of Mahone Bay. You just see trees of Point Pleasant across the way. You see the ocean out. You're right on the water. You have the morning sunlight. You have the afternoon sunlight. We said, okay, this is where we're going to build our dream home. In terms of interior features, there's a few things that Sarah and I spent a lot of time talking about: the upstairs bathroom and the kitchen. In the kitchen, we were influenced by this Norwegian architect named Wenche Zellmer, who put incredible care and thought into the elements of everyday life. And the way she designed her cupboards with places where you could very easily store lids for pots in a kind of open area, and then built-in cutting boards, and just no cupboards above, so you could have a lot of light flooding all the counters. and very visible, like dish drainage hanging from the walls. So everything's like very super simple, super elemental, but very easy to use. And then in terms of the bathroom upstairs, we thought if we're making this a really, really nice house on the water, wouldn't it be great to have the feeling a little bit of a hot spring in your bathtub? So we looked for a tub that was the deepest soaking tub possible that would work for 2 people, so kind of double-edged tub. And then we thought, well, what would make it really special would be to have lots of light. So we decided not to close it in these little 5-foot by 7-foot efficiency bathroom together with the toilet. So we put the toilet in a separate room and then had the bathroom in all the rest of the space with a view out to the water and the sunlight streaming in and a place for a plant to grow. And sort of like a little bench you can hang out in after you have a hot bath and just like take a little nap, or you can go back in the tub. So we sort of created a spa atmosphere out of the bathroom on the top level. So that was like a big investment for us, and it was a really special feature. When we first saw it, it was just a foundation. And we're like, this thing is small. It's so small. When it's just 30 foot by 30 foot, it's like, how can we ever live here? And then the framing started going up and we're like, oh, that's looking a little bigger. And then you watch it go up to the next level. And then you're climbing on the interior of the house. And then they're sheathing it. And then the windows come in. So we watched every single step of this. When we were doing the design for this house, and we were really interested in Dutch cladding, how they would have one wall coming here and one coming here, and it would shoot a little past. Like here in Nova Scotia, you have things come to a corner and then you put a corner board on it. But in Holland, they shoot one past the other. And I thought, this is kind of neat. We sort of liked it. You can see this little detail at every single corner of the house. We designed the windows to take in different aspects of the natural world. So in the living room, in the dining room, in the bedroom, you get these big panoramic viewing windows. But right behind me, we can see a window that's a horizontal window, and that's to capture just what happens at the water's edge. Birds landing, drying out their wings, seagulls flying. So that's that horizontal window. The vertical door, which also has glass in it behind, sort of takes a vertical slice from the sky down to the water. And the animals kind of inhabit this realm. So you have the animals of the sky, you have the animals of the water. We get seals, we get little beluga whales, we get the herring and mackerel wrens, we get the lobsters crawling on the bottom and the crabs. And the ocean can be fierce, you know, we've lived through a couple hurricanes here. So it's definitely on your mind. The house is built quite solidly, but you can see the windows vibrate and pulsate with big winds. Sometimes we get big surf crashes over the edge, and we know we're going to have to put rocks back in the edge and maintain it as it can wash away the earth. And ultimately, we know we're going to be facing the challenge of rising ocean levels. So the question is really how you design in a relationship to the water and what you expect or can't expect to have happen. But then on the other hand, people are living in boats. You can't get much closer to the water than that. For us, living near the water was like a dearly held wish and something that felt like it resonated with your expectations of where you belong on Earth. We both love being outside and enjoying just the sky and the water around us. There's 2 kinds of exercises that we like to do, Tai Chi and yoga. Tai Chi is more about movement, and yoga is more about extension and positions. But both of them are about your relationship to the larger world. So in yoga, you're always like standing up, or you're diagonal, or you're horizontal. And so seeing the trees across the way, the ocean horizontal. The directions of how the birds move and how the plants are is very inspiring when you're doing a yoga pose because you're vertical like the tree. You're reaching out like the water. You're connecting to the horizon. You're angling up toward the sun. And all of these makes it feel like you're like in harmony. It sounds really sappy, but it's really immediately evident when you do it in a nice place. In Tai Chi, everything is circular, so you're always mediating your body in relationship to the celestial orb and a relationship to the sphere of energy around you and your sphere of movement. So when you're extending out your hands, you're aware of a much larger sphere. And so when you do Tai Chi here, you feel like you can reach out to as far as you can experience and you can compress all that. So when you do Tai Chi, you feel like you're connected to your place on earth and then you can be connected to the larger world around you. So here we get the full benefit of it. I think the greatest thing about living by the ocean is you can give up thinking and you can just be. And the world exists around you, and you're not besieged by everything coming in on you because you have that space and openness to just be. You can experience that broader world, and it feels like there's always like openings and hope and opportunity. I wish everyone could have that experience. I think the principles of water work on us in our psyche, in our inherited genetic makeup, and the way we experience the world very powerfully. This is really our birthplace. And we might be exiled on the deserts or make the way to the farthest poles or the mountains, but I think human beings are hardwired to be near water. You know how hermit crabs, they shed their shells? So you first make this whole shell. This shell really suits me. This is my perfect shell. This is my ideal shell. So this house was great when I was a dean of architecture and planning at Dell, because I could throw big parties here. This was a fabulous party house. You could have 40 people in this house, huge kitchen for appetizers and hors d'oeuvres and stuff. People hanging out, mingling inside and outside. But maybe it'll be time to molt this shell. We love this place. We built it from scratch, designed it, conceived of it, have lived in it, just really love it. But yeah, I think we would leave it and to go into a simpler, smaller place. We also have a cottage out in the Annapolis Valley, also on the water, and we just finished working on that last year. So now we think that's gonna be our home by the sea. But we'll see how long that lasts, then there may be something else.
Every home has a story. Those living along shorelines often describe a connection to nature or a sense of serenity. Others speak of family and community. These experiences aren't unique to homes near water. Wherever we live, we are enriched when we make meaningful relationships with the natural world and the people we care for. These intrinsic emotional bonds are universal. They are the true essence of being at home.
Laughing like young lovers on this back road avenue. And this Saturday night, I'm only singing for you. And if we had any problems, you wouldn't know it now. To think that we solved them, lying on the hood, counting stars. We're just a drop in the ocean. No need to fix what ain't broken.